Again, this is Holy Week. And so we've moved into a different time and a different place. You may think that this is St. Mark in Goodrich, Michigan, and it's not. We're in Jerusalem. And it's not 2021, it's about 33. By the power of liturgy, we turn back the clock and we go to a different place as we prepare to witness all that the Lord will do for us out of love. And so what's happening are the things that happened this week. So yesterday we heard how Mary, the mother, or the sister of Lazarus, anointed Jesus 6 days before his death. And he said it was in preparation for his burial. Today we hear about how Judas is preparing to betray. Tomorrow's gospel will be from Matthew, and that will be when he goes to the high priest and says, "So how much would you give me if I handed him over to you?" Everything is getting ready. We're almost ready for the drama to begin to unfold, the story to be retold again of suffering and death, of pain and agony, of betrayal, of denial, of abandonment. It's all about to unfold once more. It's not something we haven't heard before. I'm 70, and I'm going to say that, this is probably somewhere around, at least the 55th, 56th time I've gone through this. I've watched the drama unfold. And every year I come back to it, not the same as I was last year. And it touches my life in a way different than it was before. And hopefully it is something that I am growing from year after year. It is a wonderful story, and yet it is a very human story. Because there are people in here who have known betrayal and abandonment. They have known treachery. They have known struggle. They have known pain. They have known agony. Somehow all those things that we hear about in these days, they're part of the very human experience of us all. And if we haven't experienced them then yet, it will come. It usually does. So what we experience in this week is we see how the Lord Jesus dealt with this, how he handled it all. And it is rather an amazing story. But, while we get two different versions, it's interesting because on Sunday we heard Mark and we heard how Jesus was in terror, how he was just absolutely aghast at what was going to happen. He begged, "Please let this pass from me, please." And then on Good Friday, we're going to hear John. And in John's gospel, the Passion of Jesus is really kind of mild. He just kind of floats through the whole thing. It's kind of, at the end, he says, "Well, it's finished," and then he dies. It's almost a Jesus who is above the pain and above the sadness. And again, people will say, well, which one is true? And I think both are. Because I think at a very human level, he felt the pain. He felt all of those sorrows, all of those struggles. He couldn't have helped but look at his mother and see reflected in her eyes what he was going through and thinking, if I could have protected you from this, I would. We hear all of those things. And I think that those were real for him. But I also think his faith was real. And even when we hear Jesus say, my God, why have you abandoned me?" We need to understand that Jesus is praying Psalm 22, which is the opening line of that psalm. My God, why have you abandoned me? Why are you far from me?" And then it goes on to say, "And yet these are my reasons for hope." That somehow in the story itself, in the psalm itself, it speaks of the human and yet the faith. the hope, the trust. And we see both of those so that you and I, who know that we may go through this part in our life, can also know this part in our life. And so the table is set, things are ready, and now we wait for Holy Thursday evening so that we can gather with the Lord at his table, recline with him, and take that supper with him when he will give us the gift of his body and blood to strengthen us on our journey so that you and I can follow him with a deeper faith, a deeper trust, a deeper hope, so that we can follow him. So that just as the Father led him through the suffering and death on the cross, he can lead us through the suffering, the struggles, the trials, the difficulties, whatever may lie ahead. He can lead us through that to resurrection as well. It's ready. It's ready. I can hardly wait.